territory in military parlance, market share in corporate parlance. So whether it's military or a commercial organization, the same principles apply. If we don't get the strategy right, we will lose market share as a corporate or as a military entity. We will lose territory. In strategy, whether it's a corporate warrior or military warrior, you decide which battles to fight, when to fight, how to fight. Then, after the decision is taken, then commit your ground forces to fight the actual battle. This is tactics, fighting the battle. How to fight, when to fight is strategy. You know this very famous story of Alexander the Great, who invaded in India, and we had King Porus here. Our army used to be very, very huge. The invaders' army used to be very, very nimble and very, very lean machines. There used to be war machines to there. So on the banks of river Jhelum, that's in Punjab, when Alexander the Great came through Afghanistan, when he saw the huge army of King Porus, he devised a strategy of going downstream and fighting on a clayey and marshy land where the elephants and chariots of King Porus were ineffective. And he was able to defeat a huge large army. That is why it's called Alexander the Great. Clear strategy. The other strategy is you heard of Hannibal, the Roman Empire. Hannibal was a great general of Carthage. Carthage is modern day Tunisia. He crossed the Alp mountains in cold conditions with elephants, and he was the first person outside the Roman Empire to threaten Rome with his army. Counter after some years, Romans also learned. There was a very famous Roman general, Scipio Africanus, was never lost a battle. So when they took the battle to Hannibal in Carthage on the plains of Zama, they knew his elephants, his war elephants, will create carnage on the cavalry and the foot soldiers of the Roman army. So when the elephants came charging, he split his army, gave them space of 30 meters each. So the elephants just passed through and they were able to attack the elephants from here. So this is all strategy. Similarly, organizations need to get the strategy right. I used to be chairman of TIIC Industries. Today the market cap of TIIC Industries is about 1 lakh crore plus. It's a JV of Government of Tamil Nadu and Tata's. That's what it's called TIIC, Tata Industries Tamil Nadu. The first setup was at Hosur, it's still there. I've seen that company. Strategy used to be a week-long exercise. Before they commit even 1 rupee for a new business venture or a new direction, the kind of brainstorming, the kind of exercise they used to do, intellectual exercise, is worth understanding. And but once they have committed strategy, then the entire organization's resources are committed for making the strategy right, for executing the strategy. Friends, this is India's century. Next 30 years belong to India. Our economy is strong, demand is huge. We have a young and skilled workforce. Today, geopolitically, we are very strong. The China plus one strategy, declining manufacturing capability in Europe and America, point all towards India. Now it is up to us to seize this opportunity. In this next 30 years, the key areas of growth are going to be energy transition, manufacturing, high-end manufacturing based on Industry Revolution 4, and materials science, new age materials. I was quite happy to hear the presentation of Soumya and the subsequent teams. ITCOT should position itself to capture the huge business opportunities that will come in energy transition. We have signed the net zero goals. By 2070, India will be net zero. We have signed ambitious goals by 2030 in terms of gigawatt capacity for our RE power, renewable power. We have SEBI guidelines, PRC guidelines for the top 1,000 corporates for compliance on the ESG norms, for compliance on the low carbon growth, guiding these corporates and subsequently the mid-level corporates and supply chains will open up huge business opportunities. It's a very, very potential area. Learn about CBA, the new rules of European Union, which is adopted by America, Australia very shortly. Carbon border adjustment mechanism. Through this, they plan to impose non-tariff barriers on our exports by saying that your product has got so much of carbon content. So guiding our industries to understand this framework, guiding our industries to adopt to these frameworks because these frameworks will come into force very shortly, next 2 years. Unless our industry, particularly the MSMEs, are able to understand, adapt, and move forward, they cannot be part of the global supply chains. So these kind of disruptions will offer huge business opportunities in terms of sheer technical expertise and consultancy for this corporates, middle corporates, MSMEs, and the entire gamut of supply chains. Not only the framework, each of these industries is now conscious that I have to comply with the ESG norms. Today, on the ESG, environment, social governance, E has got the prominence. But equally important is the social issues, governance issues in terms of community outreach, gender diversity, their commitment for social economic development of the communities will also play important role. All the companies today are keen to reduce their carbon footprint, build expertise, build knowledge in those sectors which will add to the growth of import. Second is manufacturing. Today, manufacturing is only 16% of our GDP. India missed the transition. Normally, for any major economy, it is agriculture, then manufacturing, then service sector. We jump from agriculture to service sector directly. Somewhere in the way, manufacturing lost out. But in today's geopolitical context, disruptions in supply chains, the China plus one strategy all point that India is poised to be the next manufacturing hub of the world, not only for the export market but for domestic demands also. Leading houses will set up their manufacturing bases in India, guiding them, guiding the supply chains, because most of the big names are only assemblers. The components are made by the MSMEs, the part of supply chain. To guide these MSMEs to adopt the emerging technologies, all the 9 components of Industry 4.0 opens up new business opportunities. The third area I was mentioning is material science. This is the age of composites. Every equipment, particularly in the arms defense sector, needs lightweight, high performance materials. India is going to be the foundry capital, foundry and forging capital of the world. Coimbatore is going to emerge in a very big way. that material science, new age materials, R&D guidance is another potential area. Now coming to productivity, our labor force productivity is not on par with China. We have to enhance the productivity of the labor force by reskilling and upskilling. Corporates are willing to pay for industry interface, for guidance, consultancy, for making their existing workforce ready to harness the power of new technologies to enhance their productivity per employee. It will interest you, very interesting example tell you. Recently, Tata Technologies, in partnership with Government of Tamil Nadu, have invested about 2,000 crores in upgrading the 17 ITIs in Tamil Nadu. Average expenditure per ITI is 35 crores. State of the art hardware, digital tools, the shop floor, the IR4 machinery has been installed in the ITIs. It has got more components, training the new students, IT students in these technologies, and also upskilling the existing MSc workers. We have partnered with the Tata Technologies, that is my organization, TIIC, Tamil Nadu International Corporation. Yesterday, we had a forward meeting with them, and the Directorate of Employment and Training for using the spare capacity of these ITIs on a Friday evening, on Saturday and Sunday for upskilling the workers, also using the high-end machinery and digital tools available there for R&D work. The message here is there is no dearth of resources in India. It is a question of just getting the big picture right, joining the dots, getting the linkages, and planning for optimal resource utilization. Is what each one of you has to do. Now, coming to competition, in modern age, competition is a part of life. Market economies, linkage to the world economies will throw you face to face with competition. How are you going to negotiate this competitive landscape? One key thing is how is ITCOT going to differentiate itself from its competitors? What is ITCOT's USP? How are you different from your competitors? Today we are a small organization, but we are growing. Future very likely will make up for a public listing. And how do we compete with the big four? How are we less than them in any way? This is what is differentiation all about. Classic Philip Kotler, Marketing Management 101. I'm sure quite a few of the MBA students he used to always say any product has got four P's: the product, price, promotion, and place in the minds of the customer. Now a fifth P is added called perception. Market battles, battles for market share, battles for competitive advantage are all about perceptions. So how are you going to position it as a knowledge powerhouse with specialist knowledge in a few verticals which a computer cannot compete on those metrics is a matter of strategy for the organization. This should continually engage the minds of all the employees of ITCOT at all levels. How am I going to differentiate myself? This differentiation strategy is applicable to us at an individual level, at an organization level, at a state level and national level. How do we differentiate and position ourselves, give a sense of our value proposition to our prospective customers or clients, where the value is very, very clearly perceptible. And this value we are proposing is something which our customer cannot match. Now, on the individual basis, each of you, the world is moving at a very, very rapid pace. We are living in a VUCA world, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. VUCA. Unless you negotiate this VUCA world by updating yourself on a daily basis, what you know today will become irrelevant tomorrow. You cannot be complacent. Every day when you come to your workstation, there is something new to learn. Knowledge is expanding, knowledge is changing at a very, very rapid pace. So, unless at the individual level and collectively at the organizational level, you stay relevant by investing in acquisition of knowledge, specialized niche knowledge on a daily basis, you will become irrelevant. Be very clear, all of you. What knowledge you have today will not serve you tomorrow. So ITCOT has to be a key organization in the consultancy space. Then its workforce has to be very agile, very nimble, very, very, very informed. I'll tell you a very classic case study. This is from my organization. I head the Tamil Nadu Industrial Investment Corporation. It was a traditional financier. You were a 73-year-old when I took over in 21, 70-year-old. We had served the brick and mortar industries of Tamil Nadu by financing them in an age when competition was not there. Formed in 1949, the State Finance Corporation. Post 91, post realization, the scenario has changed. We found ourselves swamped by competition, unable to grow, stagnating, market share shrinking. If this organization is relevant, it has to make profits, it has to pay dividends to its owners, that is the government of Tamil Nadu. Or they will say, if you can't compete, shut up your shop and move on. Government can't commit resources in this. Because today there is a number of players in the private sector market lending space. Your public sector banks are there. Your private sector banks like ICICI are there, SDFC are there. Huge number of NBFCs are there. And why should TIC be there in this competitive landscape unless you have a different value proposition? So like this, we had a brainstorming session with all our stakeholders. We are 190 strong. We decided that we will differentiate from our competitors by giving them lending plus value proposition. The lending plus value proposition beyond the lending part, where the banks have got a better access to funds than us. They have the CASA funds, current accounts, small saving funds, deposits are there. We take from the banks, put our margins, and then compete. So the lending plus value proposition in which we started guiding them on the technology trends, on the ESG compliance. Our pitch was very clear. We are invested in long-term success. Lending is secondary for us. We will be invested in your sustainability and success. Through this lending plus value proposition, we are able to differentiate and grow higher than the industry average. And today claim a space for us, a distinct identity, a distinct brand for us in this marketplace. The MD is aware of this. So this I'm giving a live example. Organizations cannot go on a linear path. If never we are aim to be continuous the entire life cycle of your career or life cycle of the organization. You have to keep pivoting. In point A to point B, there's a resistance. Take some other path. But change your strategy. Be flexible. Be nimble. Be agile. That is what is required from all of you. And it has to be a teamwork. Collectively, ITCOT is only as strong as the weakest link in the chain. Each of you is a brand ambassador of ITCOT. When you engage with the clients, remember that it is not individual, Mr. X dealing with the client. It's the brand of ITCOT dealing with the client. When you engage with the client, you may get the business or not, but he should go back with the feeling that yes, this is one organization that important well-being, my well-being at their heart. Once he goes back with this feel-good factor, he will come back to in future with more business. So you miss the business at that point of time. So being brand ambassadors of ITCOT is of paramount importance. So friends, I wanted to in fact attend your morning session. I had my board meeting, so I got delayed. With this study session, very shortly, we're going to have our own office premise. The MD would have told you, sometimes in September, we move to the new premises. It is state of the art, built in a very cost effective manner. This will give a separate visibility to ITCOT. When our key clients come there and engage with us in new office premises, this will definitely be a very, very positive step in the growth of tech, of this ITCOT. Plus, the measures you mentioned here and the emerging areas which we are going to harness in a sure footed manner, clarity of thought, clarity of strategy, and proper tactics in place, we can grow at a very steady pace. And once critical mass is there, nothing should stop ITCOT from being a public listed company. So you are in the right space in ITCOT. ITCOT is going to take off as ITCOT has enabled the transformation in several of the clients it has advised and consulted. Similarly, ITCOT is poised for growth. So friends, concluding my address to all of you, it is India's century. The best time today in history is this. All the stars have aligned, as they say. All the variables are there. Now it is up to us to seize this opportunity and grow as individuals, as an organization, as a nation, and in this nation building and promotion of brand Tamil Nadu. They also got the Honorable CM's vision of making Tamil Nadu a hotel economy. ITCOT's role is definitely going to be pivotal, of great relevance and great importance. These words, I wish the CEO and MD, his entire team, all the very best. Thank you. Good day.